The Commission awaits the presentation by the proposer and the seconder of the set of documents for purposes of nomination of aspiring candidate Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. Please, let's do that.
Aspirant Kyagulanyi Ssentamu were expected here at 10 o'clock. And now it is almost 10 minutes to 11. Whereas you may say we are within time, but the nomination is a process and it requires some time for us to go through the documents. In the process, we realize the conclusion of the nomination for what is going to take place will eat into the time allotted to the next aspirant. So when the Commission sets these timelines, they are for a purpose. But we are going to float them at leisure and serve no purpose. So please, I want to urge you that let us work in tandem with the programs set by the Commission if we want to move forward these processes appropriately.
For those following, the proposer and the seconder have presented the documents for aspiring candidate Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert to the returning officer for verification. The verification process is going to be handled by a team led by Kimba, who is the head of our election management department. And the first step that we take as a measure to prevent and combat the spread of COVID-19 during the nomination process, the first measure we take is to sanitize the documents because of a risk of spread of COVID-19 through touching surfaces. So the team accompanying aspirant Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, that is a paper heater. The documents are not being burnt to ashes, they are being cleansed through the process. The paper heater helps to cut out the risk of COVID-19. Now this is what's going to happen, and this is what is required, and what you've presented. We are going to look for proof that the documents have been prepared well, the nomination paper is presented in triplicate. That part of the documents contain a declaration by you, aspiring candidate, that you've consented to the nomination. We are going to look for proof of minimum formal education of advanced level or its equivalent. We'll also look for proof of registration as a voter for your proposer and the seconder. The verification team will look at the photographs that have been provided accompanying the nomination paper and whether they meet the specifications as laid down by the Electoral Commission and the guidelines we issued to aspiring candidates. 3 recent postcard size photographs of the proposed aspirant, the proposed candidate. Then very important, the certificate of compliance issued by the Electoral Commission in accordance with Section 10 of the Presidential Elections Act. Nomination fee of 20 million shillings. Then the last one I think doesn't apply, this being the political party, the symbol for the aspiring candidate. Those areas will be scrutinized by the team, which is now at work, led by the head legal, Dr. Jennifer Geo, and the team, Ahmed Ochama, voter data management, and Umar Chimba, election management. On the other side, we also have a technical team that's going to support the process, looking at the voter data that you provide. For those interacting with the Commission for the first time, I'd like to quickly introduce the members. We have Commissioner Justin Ahawe Mugabe, my immediate right, Commissioner Emerald Peter, Commissioner Natalie Itomalo. The returning officers already welcomed you. The Deputy Chairperson, Electoral Commission, Hajat Aisha Rega, and Commissioner Mustafa Chigozi Sebagala Haji. And lastly, the Acting Secretary, Electoral Commission, Mr. Mekwa Leonard. I am Bukenya Paul, spokesperson of the Electoral Commission. Once again, welcome and relax, feel at home, feel at easy, feel at Kyambogo. Lord Chair, the list I have here of persons accompanying the aspiring candidate, Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert, has Mrs. Barbie Tumbo Chagulanyi and welcome, Madam. It has Honorable Matthias Mpuga, who is also in the house. Dr. Lina Zedriga, you are welcome, Madam. Honorable Nambeshi John Baptist, welcome, sir. We have Honorable Asman Basari work in the house. Honorable Francis Zake, Mr. Ali Ken Nubian Lee. Mr. Joel Senyi.
Nyakoze na yesiri na yali mukunonya bicho shimanchi kyanonya.
Levels, you're welcome. Lord Chair, the Presidential Elections Act. We will be, as we progress in this electoral process, dear aspiring candidate, be under, and these following laws will apply: the Political Parties and Organizations Act and its provisions relating to this exercise, the Uganda Communications Act, because we are going to use a lot of media to engage with our audiences and the electorate. The Public Health Control of COVID-19 rules, which forms the basis for the guidelines that the Electoral Commission has issued to guide our campaigns. This is a law that will apply, and you will meet provisions of this law in the course of our engagement with the electorate and with the Electoral Commission throughout this electoral process. We want you to take note of that. The Computer Misuse Act of 2011, we emphasize that message because we want to promote safe participation in the electoral process. And the best people to take out the message of safe participation are the aspiring candidates and the nominated candidates. So to the people you love, the people you lead, the people who love you, the people who cherish you, we want to send a message of safe participation in the electoral process and take all the necessary measures to protect each other from the risk of spread of COVID-19 during the electoral process. So as we continue our engagement, we'll be coming across the several guidelines that the Electoral Commission has issued, and we expect and call for compliance. We call for compliance as opposed to defiance. Vehicle and the security team to a nominated candidate. After that, there is a press booth that has been set up so that a successfully nominated candidate can address the nation talk to the press about the coming days, the campaigns, and their plans, and their strategies. And after that, there will be exit from the nomination venue. So wish you successful nomination. Thank you very much. National Conference for Election of Representatives of Persons with Disabilities, PWD MPs to Parliament, will be on the 17th and 18th of January 2021, and the Commission will issue a comprehensive program including the venues for these delegates' conferences. We will have the National Conference for Election of Workers' Representatives to Parliament on the 17th and 18th of January 2021, and the Commission will announce the venue. The elections of LC5, District Local Government Councils, that is the district city chairpersons, Lord Mayor, mayors and their councillors, will be on the 20th of January 2021. The National Conference for Election of National Female Youth MP, National Female Youth Representative to Parliament, will be on the 21st and the 22nd of January 2021. The elections of municipality and city division chairpersons and their respective councillors will be on the 25th of January 2021. While the election of councillors for older persons to district local government councils will be on the 27th of January 2021. We will have the elections of councillors for PWDs to district local government councils on the 27th of January 2021. The elections of councillors for youth to the district local governments will be on the 27th of January 2021. Elections of councillors of workers representatives to district local governments will be on the 27th of January 2021. The elections of UPDF representatives to Parliament will be on the 29th of January 2021. Then the regional conferences for election of regional youth MPs to Parliament will be held on the 31st of January to the 1st of February 2021. The elections of sub-county, town, municipal division chairpersons for LC3 elections countrywide will be conducted on the 3rd of February 2021. And that will mark the end of the elections that have been scheduled. And the Commission, on completion of the nomination exercise today, will announce and publish the polling date for presidential elections. To our viewers following the nomination exercise, the The documents have been presented to the aspirant to sign them and own them, so that the set is complete and can be received and accepted and used for purposes of the nomination and subsequent electoral activities relating to presidential elections. So as you can see, some levels are already published and their dates are already known. Today, after the closure of nominations, the chairperson, who is the returning officer for presidential elections, will officially announce the polling date, and for that matter, the campaign period for presidential elections 2021. And you need to be patient to receive that this evening. So now that the dates are known, and the candidates for the various levels, local government and parliamentary, are already nominated, the Commission has issued campaign guidelines, and we want to ensure that there is compliance with those guidelines. Simple acts of compliance will help us have a very successful campaign period, and more importantly, a safe campaign period, given that we have COVID-19 around us. So our message continues to ring out. Let's promote safe participation in the electoral activities that are before us. Thank you very much. And the papers are returned to the returning officer for further handling and communication. That big machine, whatever they call it, it's called the seal. And I think when you see the seal, Joy, I know you want to treat. When you see the seal, it brings a lot of relief to you that things are moving fine. So with the stamp and seal and the signature, there is more confidence that I'm progressing well as an aspirant. So as the chair prepared the documents, we want to reiterate and briefly go through what's expected of us after we conclude this first process here. There is a provision in the Presidential Elections Act for a successfully nominated candidate. The Commission shall provide security, and that comes in the form of security personnel and a lead vehicle. And the Commission is already prepared to do that to each and every successfully nominated candidate. So from here, that will be undertaken, and then after that, there will be opportunity to address the press. And we've made provision, because there is already another aspirant in the queue. We do have 20 minutes for that session before we exit the nomination venue. So, dear members of the press, and the aspiring candidate and your team, which has a very good press officer, I think we'd like you to stick to that so that we do not hold the aspirant here longer than the time that has been allocated to that purpose. So the conduct of campaigns will follow the SOPs that the Electoral Commission has issued. And And the purpose of that is to ensure as much as possible that we combat and prevent the spread of COVID-19 during campaigns. And for that matter, as you're already aware through our communications, mass public rallies remain banned. So part of what is supposed to be presented, and I think the chairperson will be communicating that shortly, is the proposed campaign sheet. And I would now like to invite the chairperson to address us on more details. Thank you, sir.
All right. As I mentioned earlier on, the nomination process involves many phases. We have to verify the documentation presented by the aspirant, and we find that he has subscribed to the requirements. I, Justice Bill Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare that Kyagulanyi Central Robert, the duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2021, we have fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act 2005 as amended. As a duly nominated candidate, you are required to observe the following. 1. You have to appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, avail the Commission with the schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. Thirdly, you have to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission in compliance with the harmonized campaign program and adherence with the campaign guidelines, including the COVID-19 standard operating procedures. Also wish to urge the aspiring candidate that the Commission, one of the guidelines issued by the Commission is that processions along public roads are prohibited. Secondly, as an aspirant, we expect you to take personal responsibility towards your supporters as well as yourself by discouraging them from gathering in large numbers, because we are in the midst of the COVID pandemic. So please, waving to the people through the roof of your vehicle attracts people to gather in big numbers, 100%. So please avoid that kind of conduct. You can wave to the people through your car window. There's no problem with that. So please, we are putting these measures in place for the good of our people, for your own good, so that we ensure this process is concluded successfully and with the people remaining healthy come 2021. Now, I want to invite your agents to come and pick these personal documents together with the nomination documents by the Commission. Can you please go forward? Or if you want, you can come forward. You can come 100% down. Don't worry. I hope you underwent the test for COVID. Now, the next activity, as I said, we are running out of time because we came late. The next activity, can you please listen? Can you please listen? Let's have some level of discipline here. All right? We're disciplining lots here. Right. Now, the next activity is to hand over the security vehicle to the aspirant. secondly,